This is ASS Breaking News.
Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Assalamu alaikum and welcome, Habibis, to another ASS News programming. I am your correspondent, Asman bin Licken. Brock Jurgensen is out on assignment. Actually, he's recovering from monkeypox he got from Fuzzy's mom. Today we have a very special guest for you. As you all know, that Trump's property over in Mar-A-Lago has been raided by the FBI. Here to share with us some of their findings is Special Agent Harry Johnson. Harry Johnson, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Let me just start off by saying that you are a hero, sir, and the work you and your team does for the American people in saving democracy cannot be overstated. Allah puts His blessing on you and on your.
Well, Ali Akbar to you too as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Harry. So, Harry Johnson, I hear that you have found some damning documents of one of the most horrific terrorists of our time, Osama bin Laden. Some new secrets have come to light that Trump was hiding in his safe. Is that right?
If there was ever a time to link Donald Trump to Osama bin Laden, it is because of this raid. And what we found is that not only is former President Donald Trump a threat to our democracy, he is also in bed with, literally, Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden.
Oh, wow.
I have a slideshow.
So I know you've agreed to show off what you found as an exclusive here for ASS News, and I thank you for that. If you would please, let's go over to your findings.
Yes. So I have a slideshow here that I would like to present to you.
Right.
Obviously, we all know the former head of Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, was quite a connoisseur of sorts of the performative arts of the manga nature.
Wow. Okay.
And what we found was that now what I'm about to show you is classified. This can't be shown anywhere else.
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to see what we found. This is going to show Osama bin Laden in a new light that we have not seen before.
So these are the classified documents that we retrieved from former President Donald Trump's safe at Mar-A-Lago. And like I said, these are classified documents.
Right.
Woo-woo. The very first thing we found is this rendition of Night Shift Nurses, RN's Revenge. It is an exclusive DVD that you can't find anywhere.
Wow, this was a physical DVD hidden in this classified folder?
That is correct, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
But there's more to it than just Night Shift Nurses. We also have the Mystery of Necronomicon, which is not only, of course, satanic in nature, dealing with the occult, but you can tell there is a maiden here who is bound and gagged. It is it actually, if you think about it, it looks like inspiration for Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and ISIS.
That's very true, but it's also very tastefully done. I mean, the art style on this particular DVD has won awards. I mean, I'm kind of surprised to see such tasteful taste actually coming from this folder. Now, are we sure this belonged to Osama bin Laden and we didn't just find Trump's porn stash?
We are pretty sure, based on forensic evidence, that this has the fingerprints of both Donald Trump as well as Osama bin Laden. So we know for a fact after running several tests since the raid, that these are, in fact, a certified copies, or at least originals, of Osama bin Laden's coveted stash. But there's more. We also have sexy sailor soldiers, which, as you can tell, I mean, it is a one-of-a-kind VHS.
Right.
This is something that we in the Bureau have been looking for many, many years. Some would say a whole decade, because of just how powerful it is.
Right. I'm really surprised that they got the likeness of Nancy Pelosi in this one too.
Right. The fact that Nancy Pelosi is also starring in Sexy Sailor Soldiers, I think we have to really think about the tie-ins here and the threat to our democracy.
Right.
And the fact that both Donald Trump and Osama bin Laden had the original copy. But we're not done. We still have, it gets worse from here.
This is
It
running
gets worse.
deep. This is running deep.
Slave doll.
Oh, wow.
Made to order. This is, again, another inspiration for the creation of ISIS. So Osama bin Laden, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, and Donald Trump.
Would you consider that maybe this also has ties into Putin, because it's saying made to order, so like a mail order bride that comes from Russia, red hair. I mean, look, I'm no conspiracy
You're connecting
theorist.
the dots that we here at the Bureau have been trying to crack the code for quite some time. Sir, are you by chance looking for any opportunities to work for Uncle Sam?
Astaghfirullah al-Azim. No, we here at ASS News have a strict jihad law.
Fair enough. So we'll be wiretapping you instead. Thank you. But let's keep on going.
I'm sorry, what?
What? No, nothing. You're good.
Oh, okay. All right.
Next up, we have,
Wow.
you can't read the translation
I
here.
hope all the viewers are writing these down so they can Google this for themselves.
Right. For the viewers at home who
research.
For the viewers at home who are trying to figure out what this is because of the lack of translation, while it says Vanilla Series, it is technically, the series is Bondage Mansion. Bondage Mansion.
So very much not vanilla in your expert opinion.
Well, maybe to Osama bin Laden and Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, this is vanilla. To Donald Trump, this is basically 9/11 times 69.
That's what it feels like. Well, and we got to throw Ukraine into this as well, because mail order brides, they either come from Ukraine or Russia. That's an undisputable fact scientifically. Absolutely.
We only have a couple more. Actually, no, we don't have a couple more. We have a few more. Let's see here. The next one we have here, and this is for those of you who are more fascinated by the older forms of this genre. We have Demon Beast Invasion.
This is great. I mean, you do have to have a historical collection in order to really grasp the appreciation you can have for this type of art, because this is art.
So what we're saying here is that with Donald Trump in possession of these types of manga, you obviously can see
the
tie-ins here. Not only is he grabbing them by the pussy, he's also grabbing them by the titties.
Right. It's him visualizing himself in the art.
The only thing that you don't hear, of course, because this is manga, you don't hear anything. But of course, he's doing the honk too. He's like honk.
Right. That's the
Sickening.
FBI expert sound guy. Right. That's the sound he said that's what it makes.
Terrible.
From your expert sound guy at the FBI.
Yes, at the Bureau. This is what our expert sound guy has told us. Then we have Mother in Love For those of you who
one of my favorite. I mean, I have never seen this in my life at all.
this is a Blu-ray edition,
Never.
of course. This is Osama bin Laden's. This is from Osama bin Laden's stash. Okay, so think about it. Amazon knew where Osama bin Laden was, yet the United States government didn't. Because how else is he going to get Blu-ray discs of Mother in Love?
Right. I have no idea where you get this type of stuff from at all. Never.
I demand that Congress subpoena Jeff Bezos to answer these questions, because if he knew where Osama bin Laden was and didn't tell the U.S. government,
right,
he's a traitor. He's treasonous.
Right. I mean, it's not like you can. I mean, you can order these from Amazon. I wouldn't know. I have never done that. I've never went through it, but I'm pretty sure Special Agent Candace can say whether or not you can order these from Amazon.
Before that, I really have two more. It's a little bit too. We have The Hills Have Size.
Nancy Pelosi was great in this. Absolutely fantastic.
The last and final one, my favorite, is Milk Money. Personal favorite.
I mean, the art cannot be overstated. It cannot. Look.
Wait, did you say something about Candace?
Who? Candace who?
But this is the system, and make no mistake, Jesse. I mean, I know the White House as well as anyone. I spent a lot of time there. I know the system. This did not happen without Joe Biden's explicit approval.
We leave you with a look at Lower Manhattan and One World Trade Center. All those that plotted the attack are either dead or captured. One World Trade stands as the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, a reminder of the resilience of New York City.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
And I'm Jay Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to another episode of Habibi Power Hour. Jay, I'm back from the dead.
That is amazing. I was going to ask how you're doing.
I'm doing well.
You sent a text. It was kind of worrisome because you were in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Sent a picture of you in the hospital.
Right.
And what happened?
I got monkeypox, Jay.
Yeah. So this is how I find out you're cheating on me. This is how I find out you're cheating on me. With a fucking picture of you in the hospital saying you have monkeypox.
Yes. For those of you who are not aware, this was the photo I sent. It is I in the ER in Dallas. I'm sorry, Jay. I had to do it.
Habibi down, but not out. It's okay. It's totally fine. It happens. Look, and you're in Florida. You know, outside of Palm Springs, all of Florida is gay.
Very true. Of course. Yeah. But real quick, a few before we get into it. Spencer is fired. I'm doing okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
You know, things were dicey for a little bit.
Dicey.
I hope my mic didn't mess up
and go to your fucking mouth.
Yeah, I think the mic is still there. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, your mic's still good.
Yeah, we're good. So Habibis, very real quick before we get any further. I'm doing okay. Thank you for all the well wishes. For one, let me just change the background real quick. Thank you for all the well wishes. Special thank you to my wife Emily for flying out to Dallas with Ernie. Thank you, Ernie, for making that trip. They weren't supposed to be in Dallas, but they came literally to nurse me back to health. Very special shout out to my colleagues and friends at Rumble, Jenna Thomas and Brianna Relihan, for sticking by me throughout my hospital stay, and also making sure I didn't die. Thank you to obviously the Las Colinas Medical City ER staff for not ensuring I didn't die. To the paramedics, Austin, wow. And let's see what else.
You were taken by ambulance?
Yeah, basically landed.
Oh shit!
I landed in Dallas to go to CPAC, Texas, and
right.
I had basically I was driving up to Tampa with Jenna and Brianna and Jenna's dad, Fro, and basically we had I was booting on the way up there, and then basically we got to the airport. I didn't get any better. I thought I was going to be okay, but like every time I'd drank anything, ginger ale, Gatorade, water, it would just like come right back up. So I was basically like I was hunching over a garbage bin like right by the bar, and people were just like watching me just absolutely puke my guts out.
Fuck. And that was in Dallas?
No, this was in Tampa.
Oh shit. So then you flew. Fuck.
and then Jenna and Bree were like, you shouldn't fly, and they were like, Emily specifically said if he's not feeling any better, make sure he doesn't fly. I was like, oh, it's okay, I'm feeling better. I'm
good. I'm gonna have explosive diarrhea on the plane. It's what my people do. We explode.
It gets so much better because what happened afterwards is that basically we got up into the air, again heading Tampa to Dallas, and I'm sitting in the middle and between two people, and it doesn't stop. Like I have to literally ask people around like for more and more waste bags, like more puke bags. Just like I filled like 3 or 4 more. It was so bad.
Oh my god!
And I was just insanely dehydrated by the end of it. The crew was like, do you need like paramedics? I'm like, yes, please. And that's kind of how it all happened. So,
dude, that's fucking hilarious. Because I was gonna say, like, if it happened right when you landed in Texas, it's because there's a toxin in Texas that kills gay people. So when you landed, it started happening. They knew you were coming. So the secret, the Texas Rangers. The Secret Service of Texas, or not Secret Service, but the Mossad of Texas Rangers, they knew you were coming, so they wanted to make sure they poisoned you first.
Yes, they had to.
Coming.
So, we're going to read some of the well wishes that we got at the very end of the show, because a lot has happened since we were last.
It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks.
Been 2 weeks. So let's get to talking about that raid. So as you all know, the president of the United States, Donald Trump, former president of the United States, Donald Trump, had his residence in Florida, Mar-A-Lago, raided by the FBI on Monday. They searched specifically, executing a search warrant while the former president was up in New York, and there's not a lot of information coming out of it. In fact, what they claim to say is that there were 15 boxes of classified documents that they went to retrieve. And a lot of people asking questions about what's happening and how political this hit has ever become. I mean, I think for a fact, Jay, that this is political, but asking the question, how political is this, and how political has the DOJ become?
Right. And also with no answers, the longer there's no answers, the more ammunition they're going to give Trump on the other side.
Right.
And they're like, oh, Trump has the warrant. Why doesn't he release it? He doesn't have to fucking release it. He doesn't. It's in his favor if they don't release it anyways, because it's going to have people speculating, was this a political job? Was it all blah, 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 all this type of stuff? And it really does look like it. It looks like a complete political job. And you're going to see a lot of the parallels start to happen between this and Hillary. And the fact that they didn't do any of this type of shit to Hillary, even though Hillary lied to the FBI, no charges were brought to her. None of this was happening, even though she admitted to wrongdoing and putting classified material on a server outside of the White House. The parallels will be made. And they're legitimate parallels. And for us to see it this way, we just know it's political.
There are two standards of law in America. There's above the law, and then there's everybody else. And
exactly right.
What you're seeing right now is that as rich and famous and powerful as Donald Trump has become, he's not above the law. And the deep state, in this case, the FBI, the Biden administration, the DOJ, want to remind him that they can basically whip out any warrant. They can come up with anything to make his life a living hell.
And they did that during his presidency. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, they wouldn't issue a warrant without probable cause or having any like proper information or evidence or all this type of shit. The whole Mueller fucking investigation was absolute horse shit. The whole thing was based on horse shit. And we found that out now after all of the, after his presidency and 2 years down the line, we're starting to find out more and more that the whole dossier was complete, utter horseshit. And they used a judge that was political to issue the warrant to start off the whole fucking Mueller reports, Mueller investigation.
Yeah, the FISA warrants. And the thing about the FISA warrants is that it's basically like a rubber stamp at that point. Like if you are able to get it once, you can like just keep. Anytime you need to renew, if it's like every 90 days or every 6 months or something like that, you just put the same documentation in front of the judge, the FISA judge, and FISA obviously being the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Look, we've like litigated this shit to death, and there's been no accountability. And the fact that we're seeing this happen now. It's interesting because today, former President Donald Trump, no Kelnet says, was that the Mueller report or the Mueller report? The Mueller report. So what I was trying to say was that with the God, you got me off my fucking.
I apologize. It was such a good comment. I couldn't help it. Yeah,
it was a good comment.
It was so good.
God damn it, Jay. Now I don't remember.
I apologize. No, but you were going on about the FISA warrant and how easy it is for them to just put a rubber stamp on it and all that kind of shit.
The rubber stamp, and they use Carter Page, George Papadopoulos. They literally like invented shit to try to tie it back to Trump, even if there was like no merit whatsoever. Like they created this narrative that there was like this giant conspiracy between Trump and Vladimir Putin, that somehow Putin had Trump in his pocket, and it was like playing puppet master, and basically you're dealing with like a puppet presidency, and that we were governed for 4 years by Russia. There's still people who believe that Donald Trump was a Russian asset, despite no evidence proving that. And basically, of all the things, evidence proving to the contrary.
Right.
It's just, I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand where people get this shit.
Well, and the funny thing about it is the media had no pause about any of it. It's not like they were saying like, here's a story.
Celebrating
you do,
Jay, they were
you do what you want with it. Exactly.
They're
It's not like
literally celebrating this raid.
here's what they have. Here are the facts. All this type of stuff. No. They had people on CNN and shit just saying like, yeah, he's guilty. Yeah, he's this. Yeah, he's all that kind of stuff. Having experts on there for like fucking 24/7, trying to push the narrative that it was a whole Russia collusion shit. I mean, till now, Hillary Clinton says that her election was stolen by Russia. They say it was hacked. They do all of that kind of stuff. Now you even mention any of that kind of shit, that you are the threat to democracy. But they were able to push the whole thing all the time. And you don't see any pearl clutching
they're not even called, dude. And they're literally never called conspiracy theorists or whack jobs. They are
none
literally
of that
embraced by everyone in the establishment, in the mainstream corporate media. They're given book deals. They're given TV gigs. They're given the works. They're given jobs. Everybody else, if you don't believe the orthodoxy, this liberal neo-lib orthodoxy that somehow Trump was somehow a Russian agent, like, you are shunned by society. You're ostracized.
Right.
You're
Alex Jones.
You're Alex Jones. You're given that big fat R on your chest for fucking retarded by the establishment. Basically, it's insane. Exactly. It's literally insane. It drives you nuts. It is to gaslight you and drive you insane.
And it's exactly what I say. I say it's like you're part of this abusive relationship where somebody is gaslighting you to the max, and you try to call them out on the reality of what's happening, and they turn around and say you're the crazy person.
Right.
They turn around and say you're the liar. They turn around and say that you're the one who's trying to manipulate what's happening in the world and stuff. When they have this whole army of information that's flowing one way, and then you try to go against it, then you're the crazy person. And because they have that group of people and the group of friends that do it and stuff, it really makes you go fucking insane.
Yeah. So my next question to you is, and I'm writing it down right now for the banner, is, does the Trump FBI raid, and this is obviously the central question of the episodes in the title, is that does the Trump FBI raid put America on a collision course for civil war?
I don't think it's that big. I think we're going to see everyone become a lot more politicized, and we're gonna see a divide happen more and more, and rightfully so. I mean, it is impossible for the divide not to happen, because we are having people having different facts. Instead of the news, instead of like people actually trying to be out here to show you what's going on or just give you information, they're trying to tell you what to think. And that's where the problem lies. When CNN or another news organization like AP or the New York Times or Washington Post or any of these other places, or Fox News even, try to tell you what to think when they're presenting the news, they are presenting divide. They're not trying to give you facts. And they're not trying to. That's why you have on Twitter is the worst place, because you will have people who are diehard Trump defenders and stuff over everything. He can never do anything wrong. All of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then you have these like liberal retards on that says everything that you hear is true. Everything you see is true. Everything about him being a Russia asset is true. All of this type of stuff. They run it.
No room for doubting it.
No, and the news organizations like CNN and Washington Post and all that kind of stuff, they don't correct themselves. They'll have something go super viral, and then everyone on the left will use it as fact. And when they do a correction, it's not even mentioned. It's not even mentioned. So they don't even know whether or not, they don't know the truth about what it is that they're posting. And it's by design.
It is all by design. I want to highlight one thing real quick, and I took a screenshot of it on my Mac, so I can't show you, but basically
why can't you show us from your Mac if you got it?
I'm trying to find. Jay, will you shut the fuck up already? This is a weird screen grab that I found on Twitter. This was leading today. This is I don't know, I can't seem to find it now, but it was like midday. Literally, U.S. elections, and then it says live, because they give you they give you like the trending news on the side of your timeline. This is the headline that they're going with at the top, by the way. There is no evidence of widespread voter fraud in the 2020 election, according to fact checkers and cybersecurity officials. Completely unprompted. Dude, it's August 2022, and Jay, every single story from that like Twitter trend is not even from August 2022. They're all from like the last like 2 to 3 years. Probably the most recent thing happening was maybe in like, I don't know, June 2022.
Mm-hmm.
What prompts that shit? What like did something happen that I missed, Jay? Did something happen?
I don't even know.
I mean, I know we had elections. I know we had an election like yesterday, a primary election, but it's not like
what's happening. What's happening is the fact that there's a huge gap between Dems and Republicans coming to November. And the fact that Trump is gearing up to say he's going to run again. Now, unless these people actually have the goods, unless what they have is like irrefutable, like you can't say anything about it, like all of that type of shit, this is going to be such a huge boost for Trump. It's not even funny. You had people on the fence for him. You had people who are going to be like, you know what, I'm going to go all the way for DeSantis, or I'm going to go for somebody else or whatever. But if it turns out that they try to do this purely on political basis, you're going to see all those people rally behind Trump. People who hated him, people who disregarded him, people who said, like, don't let him run, let's go for somebody else. They will go behind him just to give it to the fucking establishment for it being this.
Which they are obviously, and obviously at this point, like, who could blame them? Who could blame them at this point? Like, they have been put, people who are anti-establishment, who went against the orthodoxy, went against, say, COVID restrictions, went against the lockdowns, went against vaccine mandates, went against all that shit. Even just like corporate media and mainstream narratives that are constantly pushed around. It is one of those things that you see and you're like, fuck it. I'm one of the deplorables. Fuck these guys. All they do is like, it's literally, if you don't believe every single piece that they feed you, I'm talking about the corporate media. If you say like, oh, as soon as you get off onto like like one of those areas and say like, oh, there are only two genders, they'd be like, fuck you, you're racist, you're bigoted, you're transphobic, you're a Trump supporter. They basically just force you to become one because they alienate everybody who just thinks critically, who is like, what, that doesn't really make much sense. They're like, fuck you, you're a fucking transphobe. Get the fuck out of here.
And people are, dude, I'm telling you, people are getting over this left and right. They really are. Even people who have like disgust for Trump and all that kind of stuff and will hold their nose and vote for a Democrat, they fucking hate all of this type of rhetoric and stuff. They really do. It's disgusting.
What's fucking, Jay, what is so insane about all of this is that they bought into every single, at least if they didn't buy into every single narrative about Trump, they at least bought into some narrative about Trump, about how he's like this basically new age Hitler. He's this new age dictator. All he wants to do is put he wants to ban Muslims, he wants to put Jews in camps, he wants to enslave black people again, he wants to send basically every person who's brown from south of the border back to where they came from. Dude, it is literally every time you see the shit. You say it's by design. All this shit is by design. They are trying to make you hate this man, even if he didn't like wrong you directly. Like, look, everybody, we all know that like running for president is basically a personality contest. Of all the personalities who've ever run for president, Trump by far is the funniest one. But be that as it may, like everything he says, people took too seriously. Yeah, and that was like the issue at the beginning. They took him too seriously. They said basically everything he's saying is an affront to democracy. They built up this point where he is such a big threat to democracy that letting him run in 24 would basically be a sign to like the end of our country. Like that is the level of hyperbole that we've gotten into. And
that's what they said when he won in 2016. That's exactly what they were saying. Like it's the end of the United States, end of the world, all of this stuff. And what happened? We had a great economy. We weren't paying $7 a fucking tank of gas. We didn't have inflation going up our ass and fucking us. I mean, without lube. Like it's fucking us without lube. It's insane.
Hold on. Without lube? Like not even spit?
Not even spit. I mean, I at least spit. That's the least I do is spit on an ass. That's the least I do. And all of these people are realizing it wasn't really that bad under Trump. Like, what was it? What happened? Where was it that it was really extremely bad under Trump? That he lies? I mean, yeah, he lies. That's fine.
Look at everything post-COVID was bad, but pre-COVID, everything was actually not that bad.
No, not at all. And the thing that about like when COVID hit and everything, the problem he had, and I think the downfall he had was actually listening to the CDC and listening to Fauci. Like he wasn't going after Fauci. No, it was really his downfall for 100. It was 100% his downfall. He should not in the thing that happened there is he should have fired Fauci. He should not have closed everything down, and they should have done it under age restrictions. They should have said, if you're above 65, stay home. Don't go out. Everybody else, you're fine. You know the risks. You're fine. Don't close it down the way that they did.
The Great Barrington Declaration. That is, we talked about this ad nauseum. Great Barrington Declaration. Look that shit up. Fauci and Francis Collins both had a hand in making sure that shit got shut down, and they had the help of the corporate media to ensure that shit got shut down.
Yes, they did.
And one other thing, they really fucked us all. In addition to obviously the CCP, fuck those guys.
Right, and it goes a little deeper than that because a lot of them were saying like, if the economy goes bad, Trump will lose, and they were doing it on purpose.
Yep.
They were 100%. Doing it on purpose against Trump, essentially.
100%.
God damn it. I'm the only one drinking again because your life is on the line.
Yeah, and also, go fuck yourself. So to answer this question, does the Trump FBI raid put America on the collision course for civil war? I'm not sure, but it's definitely closer now than it was before. The fact that there's no, we don't know the exact reason why the FBI raided a former president of the United States to get documents, 15 boxes of classified documents. We all know that's bullshit. It was either the Kennedy assassination files or like the Area 51 UFO files, or as we did in the cold open, the Osama bin Laden, hentai.
Ooh, the ooh.
So look, if this had happened to other presidents, look, what did Trump say in his statement on Truth Social? That Hillary Clinton, the Clintons basically took like tens of thousands of dollars worth of furniture from the White House as like their own, and that's like like 15 boxes versus that. The fact that the feds would raid the former president of the United States, yet completely scuttle and sleep on the Hunter Biden laptop story, knowing very well that Joe Biden had dealings in both Ukraine and China that could create a problem for him if he became president, which we're seeing happen in real time.
Yeah.
And look, we know the FBI has been crooked, but like, dude, how fucking low will they go? And like, do they really want to destroy this country just to fucking prove like how much they hate Trump?
It's something fishy, and it's something that is not right, and it doesn't make any real sense, especially because we've seen what other people have done within that position, and none of it called for this type of reaction. And seeing this reaction happen is just it's going to open a lot of people's eyes, and people who are radicalized, they're going to get even more radicalized against the establishment and see them for what they really are, which is not your friend. none of them are your friend. Anything to do with government, federally, whatever, they're not your friend. FBI come knocking on your door, you don't say a fucking word. Speak to them only in Arabic. Tell them kasummak every fucking time they ask you a question. Hey, what's your name? Kasummak. Hey, how old are you? Kasummak. Hey, were you at this place at that time? Kasummak. Where were you on 9/11? On the plane. Kasummak.
For those of you who aren't aware of what that means, Jay, can you tell them?
So, kasummak is a very it's a very derogatory curse in Arabic, and it literally means your mom's pussy. It means like fuck your mom or I fucked your mom, but in the literal sense, it means your mother's pussy. So just say kasummak to every fucking answer. And that doesn't even FBI. Any police, anyone who asks you any questions, you're at school, the teacher asks you what your pronouns are, you tell them kasummak.
I mean, that's actually, if anything, probably a valid response to if someone asks you it's kus/umuk. He says it means happy Ramadan.
What's really funny about this is on Discord, I forget who asked, but they asked me, it was probably Dan. They asked me, I had a really great iftar at this place, and I want to tell them like happy Ramadan or something. Like, what do I tell them? And I tell them, I said, tell them, kasummak.
Oh no!
Thank you for the meal. It's too good.
It's beautiful.
It was, Dad.
Before we continue on to our next story, obviously, I forgot to plug this, but if you really like our stuff and you want to support us, join us on the Habibi Bros Locals community using the promo code JenRuben69. You get 1 month free trial. We do actual streams on there. We're going to be continuing to expand on there, but also, if you actually sign up, you get to join the new Habibi Bros Discord server, which we'll send a link to after you sign up. All right, next story. Since we were off last week because you and I were both, we have actual jobs, and I was traveling. House Speaker Mommy Milky went out to Taiwan, and she stood on the side of Taiwan, and I gotta give her credit. She flipped the bird to the Chinese Communist Party, saying we stand with Taiwan. And of course, for those of you who are not familiar with who I'm talking about, of course, I am talking about House Speaker Bitch Tits. No, that's actually, I'm talking about Nancy Pelosi. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan despite pretty much opposition from every single entity, even within the United States. The Biden administration, tankies were like, well, tankies always hate, Nancy Pelosi. My question is, because of this, of this trip, which again, probably the biggest, most publicized visit of an American elected official to Taiwan, and I think in the last 30 years. Now, how close are we to war with China? How close are the U.S. and China to war because of this visit?
Dude, like the thing that fucking blows my mind is the fact that people don't understand. We are already at war with China. We are already at war with China. There's an information war, economic war. There's espionage war. There's all of these things happening right now with China, and they are ahead of us in a lot of these things when it comes to like how they're stealing information from all of us who are on TikTok, for instance. Also. Just me. And like a lot of the other like chips technology, they steal corporate information. If you want to do business or hold any kind of entity in China, the CCP have to have a take from it. Like all of these things are happening right under our noses, and we're not doing anything about it. Like this is like my ideal solution is you sanction any corporation doing business with China. That means Disney, Apple, fucking Microsoft, all of these people who are doing business in China or with China need to be sanctioned. We need to fucking make them bleed. And the fact that we don't have backing from our allies in order to do something like this, we were so quick on Russia. It was insane how quick all of these people are like on Russia, like fuck Russia, all this type of stuff. I mean, even Green Germany are now going to go back to coal to give it to fuck Russia. Like, it's insane.
That's what's so wild about it.
It's insane. We could have done this with China from day one. We could have done this with China.
Russia.
From day one, we could have done this with China. When we hear what they're doing to the Uyghur Muslims, what they want to do to Taiwan, like all of this stuff, and we're still doing business with China. And not only that, even the green people. Like the thing is that the Green New Deal fuckers, pieces of shit, fucking dumbasses, are wanting to make sacrifices to save the world while China gets away scot-free? No. Fuck you. Fuck all of these people and fuck China. We need to do something drastic against China because they are so ahead at this game. At this propaganda game.
I see that Mujahed Kobbe at what's it called? 9:47 p.m. on August 10th, 2022, the year of Allah, is advocating for nuclear war against China.
Yeah. Bomb the shit out of them. Like, I don't even give a shit. And there's another thing.
And that's the clip Media Matters takes.
No, it is. And you know what's really funny? Like what I would say is deport every CCP citizen that is in the United States right now. You deport them. You kick them the fuck out of this country. I don't give a fuck if they're a 14-year-old kid in elementary school somewhere, or if there's somebody in MIT. You kick them the fuck out, and you replace them with Uyghurs and Taiwanese people and all this type of stuff. China is fucking you. China is fucking you. We send.
Jay, I think honestly, if we're being real here, I know that universities are obviously better than re-education camps, but do we want to really send Uyghurs to indoctrination camps?
No, I understand. I get where you're coming from. Like, there's a whole, like, don't even get me on a rant on our fucking education system that we need to dismantle here in the United States. Like, I want to purge the education system completely. Every public school, every fucking union, every fucking university. This tenure shit needs to be nuked out of fucking existence.
Jay, you went to American University, right? Did you go to American University?
I did.
I
went to Oklahoma State University, and I also went to some universities overseas as well that were American run.
That were somewhat training camps of the Islamic State type, the Islamic State University.
the American English Islamic State University.
The Islamic State University. There you go. Look, I think. I don't know if we actually are. We're definitely in a cold war with China. Hot war. Look, China doesn't want it. I don't know if they'd be out. Look, I can't say that we outman China because we obviously don't. There are more than 1 billion of them. There are 330 million of us, which at least half of the country are basically ineligible to fight, either because they're babies, women, or soy boys. And then you have at least 1 billion plus Chinese who probably because they're obviously coerced to it, probably will fight us. And I don't know. Maybe we'll outgun them. I don't know if we will outman them, but
we'll definitely outgun them for sure.
Daily Express says provocative Russia backs China in horrifying Taiwan escalation. U.S.
Do they really? And you know what's also a fucking scam? That we pay billions to the UN that have Russia and China on veto power. Like, holy fucking shit. What the fuck are we actually doing? Like, why are we there? What is this? And the people who justify that, just show me how immoral they are. None of these people have a moral leg to stand on. None of them.
So one thing that makes me think that, first of all, I'm not surprised that Russia would take China's side. One thing that's obviously interesting about all of this is that, and this is kind of a weird segue here, but Congress are currently debating this Inflation Reduction Act. The White House is currently gaslighting us into thinking that there was 0% inflation in the month of July. And I am surprised that even though the Inflation Reduction Act is supposed to be like this massive overhaul that includes a lot of like climate regulations and all that shit. Jay, can you enlighten me? Is there any provision about like sending another $69 billion to Ukraine? Is that in there?
Probably, and that's somehow going to help climate. And you know what's really hilarious? Watching the media completely change the terms on what they use for this bill. Before, to try and get it passed and get the public behind it, they were calling it an Inflation Reduction Act. Now they're calling it a climate savior, whatever the fuck. And it's fucking hilarious to me. I tweeted out the other time that all the taxes and money and printing and all that kind of stuff you think is going to do good with government does not outweigh the evil and the blood and the deaths that they do with that money. It doesn't. Not any of it. From killing innocents in Afghanistan, from murdering 500,000 in Iraq, all of this stuff, you wanting to raise taxes on the rich and the middle class and all that kind of stuff to pay for, some out of school liberal arts, whatever the fuck, to have avocado toast, does not outweigh the evil government does with your money. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. And the fact that we are constantly discussing this Schumer Manchin bill, and the fact that in the midst of all this, the Biden administration is coming out and saying, oh, you know what? We're actually like, the gas prices are down. Inflation is down. Aren't we doing such a fucking great job? Dude, how fucking out of touch are they? How is it possible that literally every single one of them is saying, oh, look at this great job we did? They literally are like crawling back from negative territory, and they're still in negative territory.
Right. They are.
There are fewer consumers of gas. The reason why gas is down is because of fucking supply and demand. There are literally fewer people purchasing gas because they can't fucking afford it. So the price of gas is going down.
Right.
Am I going insane? Am I wrong?
No, Jay? You're not. You're not. And another thing that really fucking irks me. It fucking irks me. And I listened to this analogy the other day that makes complete sense. Is when they talk about the job market and creating jobs. They're not creating shit. We lost more than 10 million jobs during COVID. And now we have 7 million jobs back. That's not creating jobs. That's fulfilling. That's fulfilling what we lost. It's like for example, let's say I invested $100,000 in the stock market, and then I lost $50,000. So now I'm at $50,000, and then a year later I made another $50,000. I didn't make an additional $50,000. I broke even, and we're not even breaking even yet.
How fucking stupid are these people?
Very, and their followers and the people in the media fucking push it, and they push this narrative onto other people as if they're doing something amazing and they're doing something great. We should have never closed this way in the fucking first place when it came to COVID.
Dude, I am just waiting. I'm waiting for the day that things are so bad that Democrats will admit, you know what? Actually, we did. We stole the election in 2020. All that shit that we said was, conspiracy theory. You guys are fucking like out of your mind, smoking crack. Yeah, we did that shit.
Well,
that's how bad things are.
and the thing is like maybe they didn't physically steal it or change anything or do anything. What they did was run everything and all the channels that they had to misinform, to lie, to cheat, to do all of these type of things in order to sway the election. And may that be like the deep state helping them with it, like for example closing the fucking economy when we shouldn't have. Like we honestly shouldn't have. I know COVID was scary and I know all this type of stuff, but that is the one negative. That's the one thing that fucking killed the Trump presidency, is the fact that they took COVID as seriously as they did and closed the economy the way that they did.
There was
and another thing is the way that they closed schools too.
Yeah, the way they closed deaths. And I remember seeing the story in Australia that they were actually trying to report the actual number of people who died from COVID, and it was like insanely low compared to what they were actually posting. And I'm trying to find this because it's one of those things where in Western Australia, this is it. Yeah, the number of Western Australians killed by COVID rather than with COVID. In Western Australia, 18 deaths were recorded by COVID-19, with the only condition listed on the patient's death certificate in the first 6 months of its Omicron wave. Australian Bureau of Statistics COVID-19 provisional mortality figures showed that since Omicron began circulating in the community to June 30th, the state recorded 902,000 cases and 192 deaths from the virus, when in actuality, the people who died from COVID alone, and not because of they had other comorbidities or anything, 18 out of 192 deaths. And we're going to literally blame COVID for all this shit.
Right. It's mind-boggling to me. It's so mind-boggling to me. And the fact that what we did to kids and to schools. I mean, we're already.
Obviously, Australia and the United States, two entirely different countries, different systems of government, but both bought into the hype that is COVID. We've all had relatives die, family members or friends or people we know who have died from COVID. I think it's important to stress that we are specifically talking about the virus itself, not the virus plus all the comorbidities that someone might have had. That's what we're trying to distinguish.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I really don't want to say this, but like in comparison, over the same time period in Australia, in Victoria, which is on the eastern side, 69 deaths were recorded.
And
I can't do it.
the way
I can't do it, Jay. I can't do it.
They were arresting and putting fucking people in camps for wanting to go over and see their family members in different states within fucking Australia itself. Like the way that they went overboard with it, and the same thing with New Zealand right now too. And Sweden is showcasing that everybody wanted to shit on Sweden in the first place, but then it's showcasing that they actually were probably the smartest ones who went after COVID and had the policies against COVID. It's just insane. It's a fact that they want to control you, and then now what they're trying to do with monkeypox and throw the state of emergency on a fucking virus that only affects gay men and shit. Like, well, and gay men to 98% of the people who are getting affected, and it's like 95% of the reason why is because through gay activities of men having sex with men, and they want to control the rest of the population on this, saying that it's a state of an emergency. No, it's not. All you got to do, like, you closed down fucking parks. You called mothers grandma killers for wanting to take their kids to the zoo. Close down the gay bars. Cancel Pride. Fucking stop all the rest of that shit. Like, it's that's what you got to do.
Literally, all they had to do is say, "Hey, maybe you should stop attending piss orgies." And you know what the gays said? fuck no. We're
Exactly.
going to every single piss orgy. I am going to piss on your face out of spite now.
Exactly. And instead of having that type of and they don't call these people murderers. They don't say any of that kind of stuff. Nothing. You hear jack shit of that type of rhetoric on it. But you wanted your kid to go to school. You're murdering all the teachers of all the world.
Guys, Jay, you know what I think happened? I don't think the CIA actually killed our uncle Ayman al-Zawahiri, the head of Al-Qaeda, with an actual like drone that like sliced and diced them like fucking fruit ninjas. I think they just sent a gay over who had monkeypox, and he just pissed in his mouth, killed him. Until the CIA proves that they didn't do that, that's my theory. I'm sticking with it.
I think that's what it was. They sent a gay CIA agent over to him.
No, not CIA agent. They literally commissioned a gay with monkeypox. Send him over. Piss in Ayman's mouth. Boom, dead.
Right.
I can see it happen. In
I
fact,
can too.
I can't see it happen. It did happen. I'm willing it. I'm basically, this is exactly what happened. So there you have it. We still got a couple more stories we want to hit on before we get to some of the comments. What is this? Biden wants to incite a race war. What the fuck am I missing here? Oh shit! Yeah, the Albuquerque murders. Did you see this? Did you see this, Jay?
No, what happened?
Oh yeah, the murders happening in New Mexico.
Yes,
a bunch of Muslim men. I believe Muslim men. A bunch of Muslims who are being killed in Albuquerque. And they finally got the suspect. And the suspect is another Muslim, an Afghan immigrant who has been charged in the shooting deaths of two fellow Muslims. Apparently, it is not based in, whether he hated Muslims. It was a sectarian dispute, as far as we could tell, because the two victims that,
right,
I guess, correct me if I'm wrong. This, at least from the New York Times. So the Afghan man accused of killing two Muslim men in Albuquerque has been charged in a series of assaults in recent years, accused of beating his wife and son and attacking a man whom his daughter was dating, according to police records released on Wednesday. Each time, prosecutors dismissed the charges against the man, Mohammed Syed, 51, who is now the leading suspect in the shooting deaths of four Muslim men, three of them over a recent 10-day stretch that have shaken the tight-knit Muslim community in Albuquerque. Mr. Syed, who's also Muslim, was arrested on Monday by police officers who stopped his car about 100 miles from the Texas state line. In a criminal complaint, a police officer wrote that Mr. Syed had said he was driving to Houston to find a new place for his family to live because things were bad in Albuquerque, and he referred to the recent shootings. Things are really bad in Albuquerque, Jay. I had nothing to do with it.
Neither of us
That's
did.
what he literally said. The dude literally said, "Yo, things are so bad in Albuquerque. I got to get out of here." What the fuck? The police said they found a handgun in the car and spent and a spent bullet casing between the windshield and the dashboard. Tests on the handgun, the spent casing and casings that were found at the scene on the killing on August 1st were all presumptive match, the police wrote in the complaint. Okay, so we don't know the reason why, but we do know that it's Muslim on Muslim violence. That means this is getting swept under the rug, because if it literally were any shade whiter, like if it were my shade of white, it'd be a fucking race war.
No, absolutely. And that's what a lot of people were trying to insinuate and push. They were trying to insinuate, like the AP also was insinuating that they were being targeted solely because they were Muslim. They're being targeted because they're Muslim. And more often than not, when you see a killing spree like this, or you see killings like this happen and all that kind of stuff, it's within the same race. Who's the number one killer of black men?
Muslims.
Who are black. What are the number? Who are black. It's usually what you're going to find there, but it doesn't stop this narrative of wanting to try and push this racist, this other type of fucking narrative within these situations that don't call for it. And it's
Right.
exactly what we were saying in the beginning. Instead of just giving you the information, saying, saying these people died. These people died in a string of murders. They're saying these Muslims died in a string of murders that is looking like they were killed because they're Muslim. That's the narrative they try to push.
Right.
And instead of correcting themselves when we see the truth, they let it.
But you
they
realize,
just let
Jay,
it go.
you realize that, like, and this is something that's interesting, because if this killer was not arrested sooner, like, say if it were a long drawn out thing, like, say, like the DC sniper, that would span like at least a month or two or something like that. I could totally see if Trump were still president, he would 100% be blamed for all this. Biden, we don't see this happening in Biden's America, right? Because Biden's all about love, even though, of course, like, he literally, of all the people to be in office, he definitely seems to be at least more racist, of the more racist ones in my lifetime. What I'm seeing in all of this is that people are literally driving this narrative that all white people are bad, and they want anything to confirm it. What was that CJ Whirlman tweet? Did we have that? CJ Whirlman, he oftentimes reports on, like, some of this, like, interracial, violence happening. He was pushing this narrative that somehow, like, everyone within the within Albuquerque had to be a white guy, had to be a white supremacist. I'm gonna find it.
Well, and the funny thing about the CJ tweet is that he's the reason why I got banned in the first place.
Wow, really?
Yeah, because he wrote an article stating under the UN guidelines, Palestinians have a legitimate reason to kill all the Jews in Israel that they want. They have a legitimate reason. He wrote a whole article on it, and then Mehdi Hassan retweeted and posted it out. This was years ago, and because of that, that's where I started saying, Jews breathe, so they deserve to die, and all this type of stuff, messing with Seth, and then that's how I got banned, because of making fun of his article. The guy is so far out there. It's insane. Like, he is legitimately a paid Qatari asset. That's what he is.
Has to be. CJ Roman says Muslims, particularly Pakistani Muslims, are being targeted for assassination in New Mexico. The perpetrator is most likely a white supremacist, but would not be surprised if we learn he or she is a Hindu nationalist. So literally, has to be
none of that is true. None of it was true. And he didn't correct himself. And he didn't delete this tweet. None of it happened.
Fucking insane.
And Twitter is so against misinformation. They're so against all of this type of shit.
Oh, so crazy. So, Jay, we'll get to our favorite segment in just a moment here, but I want to, like, take a moment to highlight some of the nice notes that people sent to me. Now, if you had tuned in earlier while we were streaming this, you'll know that I was in the hospital, and I got a case of monkeypox. I mean, food poisoning. I was in the hospital for a bit. Again, big thank you to everyone I mentioned before. I'm not going to go through all the things again. But I this time I want to highlight some of the responses from the Habibis. So let's go through some of that, shall we? Let's do that. So Damon Toll says Siraj has a medical emergency that keeps him out of Florida at the same time that Mar-A-Lago gets raided. Coincidence?
I think not, especially when we found out exactly what he had in there, right, with Osama bin Laden's hentai.
Can't rule it out. Can't rule it out, Jay. Mrs. Brassenstein saying she'll take care of you. Ooh, yes.
It's not my proudest fap.
Not my proudest fat, but my most efficient fat. And we have Fuzzy Dunlop, tweeting horror fellatio put a guy in the ER. Now he's broken the internet. Subcaption reading: the story of a 50-year-old who ruptured his airway giving fellatio to a grinder hookup has broken the internet. And thank you, Fuzzy. You can run my beanbag later. Damon Toll again saying this is the worst attack on a political figure in the history of Dallas. Yes, because that's where I was. I was in Dallas.
Absolutely, you were.
Thank you. Thank you for recognizing this. Midnight Mitch, aka Prison Mitch, with this headline: transgender woman gets new vagina made from fish skin. Next up, we have Shag Knight, who tweets at Cardi_Mark.
That's so good.
Get better soon, Habibi, and gave me the nicest rack you've ever seen. And the only way I could respond to that, Jay, is that I'm now half Pakistani, half Iraqi. Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful titties.
Absolutely
fantastic.
fantastic.
Never had titties
so good
on this. Never had titties that nice.
That's so
Mrs. Brassenstein is back again with another tweet saying, I thought my husband was constipated. Actually, he had a water bottle in his butt. I guess.
How are these things real? How are they real? Like, how are they real articles? Like,
they happen to me, Jay. That's because these are real because they've happened to me. Okay.
That's all you.
Yes.
It's all you.
More. Sarah, who tweets at Cosmop saying, I know the real reason you're in the hospital. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah.
That's the homophobic dog. Do you know about this?
I don't.
Oh my god, it is amazing. It is absolutely the most, like, some of the most amazing fucking memes ever. And it is like homophobic sayings and stuff with this dog and his face. And so basically saying, like, I know the real reason you're in the hospital is because, you know, you're gay and you have monkeypox.
President Mitz is back. Siraj eats ass once and gets monkeypox.
Oh, that's so good.
Mike Dre, who tweets at Mike Dre. Siraja opens up about the challenges she faced with gender confirmation surgery. Carlos, who, by the way, happy birthday, Carlos.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Los BB.
Go to the other chat. There's a nice tweet for his birthday.
Oh yeah. Let's go look at that. I think I have it here. Is that it right here?
There it is.
The beautiful.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Happy birthday, Carlos.
Happy birthday, Carlos.
And for everybody who doesn't know, everyone else is photoshopped but him.
That's actually him.
That's literally a photo he posted
online on the internet.
On the internet. Like, it's so good. It's so, like, honestly, it's so good.
Sexy. Carlos saying Siraj still posting for the content. Yep, I do it for the clout. I do it for the clout. Michael Malaise, not Michael Malice, but Michael Malaise says Dr. Stun discovers steel cup in drunk man's stomach. Stephen L. Miller, aka Red Steez, a Habibi that we know and love, tweeting, you getting sick on that flight was certainly better than what you probably had planned for that flight.
So good.
He gets me so well. Arun Kumar tweets out dynamite areolas though, huh? Because I don't know. Could you see my titties in there, Jay?
Oh man, that is so good. Yeah, you actually can.
Yeah,
there they are.
Nipples,
areolas, hairy nipples and all. I mean, if people want to see hairy nipples, I think we should show it.
I think we gotta show them. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Maybe zoom in a bit. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. We had to do it to him.
Yeah. We had to do it, Habibis. I do not apologize for this at all.
Yeah. We're not done actually. We still have more.
This is such a nice tattoo. I can't help it. We got to get you tattooed as well.
Oh,
when I come down to Florida, you're getting tattooed.
Okay. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, Jay.
No, it's haram. I can't get tattooed. No. Baba won't approve.
Skull Throne tweets at Siraj, the screenshot from Donald Trump saying Siraj looked disgusting, nipples protruding in his blue shirt before Congress. Very, very disrespectful. Tommy Beeswax says you knew the risks were high when you took part in that orgy, Siraj. Hugh Noah says be well, Habibi. Gives me that little. Thank you for that. Candace says, could they also shave the chest hair while you're at it? Is the chest hair really that bad, Jay?
No, it's not bad at all. I shaved myself, and this is actually 4 days after I shaved.
Yeah.
And I'm already getting pretty hairy. I shaved myself because I was going to Vegas, and we were going to like pool parties and shit, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any hair, but you can already see all of it like growing back. And I try to get tanned. Look how white I am. I'm fucking white as shit. I really need to get more tanned. Like I'm way too white.
We're not done yet though. Faye Beebe.
Oh, says, the master dunker herself.
The master dunker herself tweets the lengths some people will go to in order to feel the touch of a human being on their bare skin. And then feel better soon. Thank you, Faye. And then Pliny says, I thought no one had been hospitalized for monkeypox. And then 5 Point Slow says, any excuse to take off your shirt. We literally take any excuse to take off the shirts. Thank you all for the well wishes, Habibis. Oh, Eliza's here. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Eliza.
Also, congratulations to Eliza on her she's making big moves. I don't want to share it unless she wants to. Does she share it? Does she want me to share it? I can share it if she wants me to.
If she wants you to.
If she wants me to. She can you just let me know. But in the meantime, let's get to our favorite segment, and that is Ask Us Anything. D. Rodman fan says, hey, Siraj, fuck Arsenal. Thank you for that. So let's get to some of those comments. We start a few. Fuzzy says, Jay, please make this the episode you get so drunk you wet yourself and fall out of your high chair.
Oh, I'm already pissing myself right now. You guys just can't see it. You can't see it. If we were gaming, I would fall out. Yes.
Eliza Blue says it's not private. All right, so congratulations to Eliza on her gig with the Blaze. A hearty congrats.
Oh, that is amazing. Congratulations. The only reason why we haven't been hired is because they're Islamophobic.
That's also true. Essentially 100%.
100%.
Let's see. Barry Jen Rubin says, can we see Ernie? Yes, let me go get him. I'll be right back.
Do
Ernie,
it. Do it.
Jay, you go ahead.
Hey, Siraj and Jay, have you seen the season 3 of The Boys? Siraj would be termite and shrink and go inside Jay's penis. Jay. Right. That was actually like an insane episode. That was fucking insane. It really was. Go get Ernie. Go get Ernie. All right, we're gonna go through some of your other comments while I'm here. Teddy Sheckler, you're a good Twitter follower, but I find all the shirts on your streams icky. Well, they're nice and off. Just for you. Just for you, Teddy. Fuzzy, you and your mom agree.
Firm butts or squishy butts?
Well, look, I like squishy butts for sure, and especially when I'm eating them, because it depends on whether or not they're clenching. Because you still want a nice, well-rounded, exercised butt. You do. but you don't want one that's going to crush your face like a melon when you're eating it between the cheeks. Somewhere nice in between.
Yeah. Real American Patriot 420 on Rumble says, which one's Ric Flair? Between the two of us? Definitely between the three of us, definitely Ernie.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nobody who can take that.
We got the same color hair and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Hank Habibi says, Siraj, how many years did you get off your sentence in exchange for being the FBI informant? We're going to skip that one because I'm not allowed to talk about it. Tom Wanton says, for a second, I thought Siraj was rocking the Lord Farquaad haircut, but then I realized he's just wearing headphones. Jay, do you get this joke?
I don't. Who's Lord Farquaad?
All right, we got to show it.
Oh, wait. From Shrek, right?
Yeah.
You do have the hair. You do have the hair for it. You do. Holy shit. This one right here. Yeah. No. The one right under it. Right under it.
Yeah, this one.
That's it right there. Siraj. Right when you... How do you even fucking see this? How do you see this?
See that.
That's so good. That is insane.
Yeah. Prisoners, did you already answer this one, Jay? Can you get monkeypox from hugging?
No, you cannot. It's only when you eat ass. Hugging is fine. We can hug all you want, sir.
Beautiful.
It's been a while since we've done the show, and it's been a while since I've drank, so I'm drinking a little bit too much.
It's okay, Jay. We're literally about to wrap up here. So Ernie literally is the last. Great. Someone's gonna edit my face into Lord Farquaad. So yes, that's been our show. Jay, we miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we obviously miss everything. So for the stuff that you miss, make sure you go ahead and hit us up on our locals. Use that promo code JenRubin69. Hit that like and subscribe button. You can find me on Twitter at Siraj Hashmi. Jay is at Asslicken. It's right there in the description.
ASSLIKEN. Ask your mom about it. They love it.
Ask your mom about it. We are approaching the end of our second season. We have 69 episode seasons. That's how nice they are.
That is how nice they are. And hopefully I am going to be in Florida for
Inshallah in a month.
For that. Inshallah.
We'll probably have to put out double time to get to 69 by the time you're here.
I think we're going to have to, especially because we were out for 2 weeks.
Yes, and I'm sick. So once I get better and once Jay has more time, we'll get back to ramping those up, and Ernie will always be available. And inshallah, you'll be seeing us in person, 69ing each other once again.
I cannot wait.
Real quick,
and also,
Spencer, get in
when
here.
we're in Florida,
ahead.
I'm going to get tanned.
Inshallah.
Spencer,
get in here. Spencer, our producer, thank you for your help. Thank you for putting that together. You're fired as always. And
yes.
If you really, really enjoy our shit, make sure we can keep doing our shit. So appreciate your support. Love y'all. Be good. Have a good rest of the week. Have a good night. And we'll see you. Peace out, Habibis.